import, but he only does private teaching. He doesn't do, public, teaching. So he doesn't do. No, it's for the iPad.
And then when I scroll on this screen key, just to finish up where I am, so I went back one screen, and that's what brought me down to
our courses.
Developing mobile apps at $19 a week. And then if I continue to scroll, it says We Build Awesomeness, 345.
Right.
Correct.
And
now you know what. You know
that's
what
the home
right?
page. And then if you click the actual words developing mobile app instead of business, because if you scroll over, it should have a tooltip that says course author. Mm-hmm. Scroll over without clicking the business source, and it should say course author.
Now, where should I be to see course author? Because remember, I'm on the.
Oh, you're on the business. Screen. You're on the developing mobile apps one, right?
Now the develop. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me click. Okay, now that I'm in that tab, so we'll forget about the other one. I was just trying to, in the interest of telling you where I was, to make sure you knew where I was.
So you should
now
see.
I've just gone to the link you just sent.
Okay, so course curriculum. If you scroll down a bit.
Yep.
So essentially, home, members, activity, events, and drives. So home explains the course and then gives you the curriculum. And then as you'll see, the curriculum can be in multiple sections. So ETP training, for example, 8 weeks could be, multiple sections. But as you go in, mobile application development, let's say that's the intro. And go ahead and click the next one, which is platform development, because that's the one that's free for now. So if you're not taking the course, you can still see some of it for free. And here would essentially be one of two things. I mean, one of a lot of things, actually. In here, I can pretty much...
Just before you go, Keith, hold on. I saw home courses pages, buddy-wise, getting started with marketing, scrolling down to see course curriculum. Where did you ask me to click?
If you see course curriculum, there's a plus sign next to introduction.
Course curriculum, I just see section 1, introduction. Oh, okay, there it is over there on the right. Okay, got it.
Yeah. And then now you should see mobile application development, platform development, so on.
Perfect.
Okay,
so... Sorry, I missed the plus sign. Okay.
No, it's all right. So right now, we've only made one free. So, for example, this could be to tease them.
Yes.
You go ahead and click that, and it will take you to the next page. Now, I didn't go into too much here, but essentially this could be anything. This could be text, this could be video, it could be audio, it could be a fillable PDF, it could be a Salesforce form that goes into a system that that workflows and automates into a PDF at the end of your course history. And when you finish this course, and there's so many dynamics in the back from the learning management. That's where we really got to talk, because let me share this with you now. So share, and then you have RICH. What I'm sending over to you are essentially the key points that we would need. And if you got to go to the meeting, okay. Are the key points that we were kind of need to build out this platform. So you have what a user is, what a course is, what a model, certification, learning program, badge. So, for example, when you go in as a pre-entrepreneur, we could have 3 badges that you have to get, and this system has badges, and it's a gamification kind of thing. We could create our badges, but you get these 3 badges, and because you've taken these online courses, now you've certified for an actual online, in-person course, similar to what they're doing with the LA Small Business Academy. If you're not a part of LABAVN, you're not a part of that. And so you're able to create, that kind of dynamic.
Got it.
But I just need to know what I'm creating. Does that make sense? Instead of me going in and saying, okay, here's what it is to be an entrepreneur, all these centers already have their own ways that they're teaching. So we don't want to take that over yet. We just want to teach them how to get it all digital and how to be in the same information architecture, and let's all learn the same way. And then you guys can start doing your individual site checks to help them, because we have to understand that each area is going to be different in the way they teach an entrepreneur class. Yes. So we don't want them to have to all do it by a quote unquote growth wheel model, but we want the customer journey to be the same. So pre-entrepreneurship has to be 8 steps, and the end goal is what we have to identify, as in, when do you need certain documents filled out? When do you need, your paperwork filled out, your LLC, and all of those certain things? And then, do we really have a cohort of individuals that we can send these people to, or are we just blankly referring them like we used to?
Yes.
And that's an open-ended question, and that I don't know if you want to just kind of leave that, and this is not on an idealistic, I want to talk real now. I know that we can't fix that everywhere right now. So by centralizing all the communication and contacts, at least we'll know who the people actually are, and assure that these sites are not duping and duplicating, per whatever may be happening. So the first step in the first year is, that's why I said agile, is really to stay on WordPress, understand the architecture of the platform, which will be licensed and we own, because Milken's talking about it too. They want it too, the LMS, to educate pre-entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Even though you weren't in that meeting, the next day. Good to see you the day before though. But that was the they want the same thing. So that's how I'll be able to license it with the hosting and all that. So now we have that model, but it's I still need your end goal. So the way I'm going to put it in a presentation to you is those factors. We are essentially, A Cool Nerd. We develop platforms and learning management systems. This is what we're developing for you. By doing this architecture, strategy, and implementation. And that's kind of what I want to put into the presentation for the cost evaluation. Does that make sense? And then I'll break it down accordingly. So,
then Keith,
go ahead.
You mentioned 1LA when you started. Now, that expression I know Adversary is using when they're talking about certification and trying to get BAP in and talk the portal and, et cetera, trying to be the force behind unifying the systems when it comes to procurement. When you were saying 1LA, did you mean that movement that's kind of going on, trying to get the city all on the same platform, or did you mean these 9 centers being
correct? I meant, because you had made that statement that you wanted to move towards the 1LA mentality. Yes. So I was just trying to help you set the foundation with these business centers before pushing it on them and making it a compliancy and non-compliancy kind of thing. So right now, this will help you brand, centralize, and then be able to, get them to dedicate specific monies so we can go out and centralize all the, the paperwork, the materials, and the templates, and then they can go out and build it individually for their given centers. That makes sense. Yeah, but you guys would have all centralized business source, City of LA, EWDD stuff, and we just kind of discuss where all that goes. So today I wanted to kind of give you these 2 or 3 things, let you know where some of the research has gone into, show you where I am, and then if you go back to the platform, if you see courses, business, access to capital, these are all just simple courses. The pages. So again, online, offline, free, paid courses, this all comes into the customer journey that we're going to develop. And then once we kind of talk about it, there's a certificate system in here as well. So once you complete something, there's a certificate program. And then also what we can do is a static drip. So if we have a, what are the first 4 that you want me to develop on here? It was intake and what else? Intake, assessment. Intake, assessment. The notes from our last meeting.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for.
Intake assessment.
Intake assessment. You said education and implementation.
That's exactly. Then that's what it is. Education
and implementation.
So essentially, that's what we need to do. Is we want to do the intake process, which is I need to know exactly what that is for you, because these forms are. They're not crazy, but I need to know what you're actually looking for, and then I want to try to build it into Salesforce, like I said. So it's you click it, you go in, and then you're dynamically sent to a center and assigned to a center. At first, we're just going to do intake, right now. Everything's going to be on WordPress, unless you want me to go directly to Salesforce now. It all depends on, what you think.
Got it.
So right now, for the original platform, for everything I'm doing, I'm just going to do it on WordPress just because that's where it is. but I will show how Salesforce is able to, I can show that we can go over there. That would just be the first transition.
Yeah, we would definitely, love to do that, because I just, in meeting with Launchpad with the team last week, we mentioned that we want them to start uploading all of their forms, like when they're taking information, documentation from clients, start uploading this stuff into Salesforce, because I'm moving to a paperless model. So I would like this platform to eventually feed into Salesforce as far as any documents that are uploaded in here, and to send it into Salesforce, so the center rep can just go from the WordPress platform and not have to jump back and forth. Okay, I loaded some documents in WordPress, I load some other documents directly into Salesforce. Hey, client experiences, it all goes from the same place to the same place. If that makes sense.
You guys you don't have enough money for that right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You're getting close, but that's why I'm trying to give you the agile development, because the way I'm developing, you're going to be able to move forward almost incrementally, as in okay, you really only have 50 to 70 right now, you know, at the level with the LMS and all of the account users is that's going to be a lot, and then the onboarding education for each center is going to kind of be a lot.
Of course.
That's what you got to think about is I've got to go to now 9 centers and help understand that workflow instead of taking a growth wheel and telling them this is what it is. It's all right, we're still on WordPress. We have only core functionality, as in you know, the learning management, the intake, everything's on. What do you want to do here? What banners do you want? What words do you want? But you will essentially be able to put that up, and then the pages that you create just have to, go up here, and just don't change it before the city approves it. You can put up your own blogs, you can put up your own information, your own content. You can change the number or the address on there if it's wrong, so you don't have to call somebody for a work ticket. You guys can still run it with your intern or anybody on site. You can assign profiles and stuff, but once you take somebody into the system, they need to run. You're going to say, okay, there's 2 accounts. You'll need this account, which is WordPress. The client will always go through WordPress, and then we would essentially, they may have some double labor in the beginning, which would be downloading some forms and then maybe uploading them manually into Salesforce. But it depends on, the more you put up front is the more you can put into sales, the more I can put into Salesforce. But I was trying to keep it at the price point of, 50 to 70.
Yeah, closer to
and make it dynamic, intake and multi-location.
Yes.
Versus trying to go in with the mentality of, we're just going to take all this over, because then it would have to be a city contract, and you guys don't want that. Right now, you're just licensing a platform and a developer, and then you're paying for the hosting, and then you're doing that in order to make sure that the architecture you're developing per your city or wherever this other contract came from is in coordination with where you're going for the future. And that's the premise that I have right now. So it's okay, we stay with WordPress because you don't want to have to fire people, and the learning curve for a completely new system is a lot for something that's not long-term looking. This is what you're using now. We're not really changing it. We're just centralizing all of the way it's done, so all of you are not planning, and then you're all implementing your plan in a different way, and then nobody's working towards the same model, and then you're all overstressed because you're getting less money. Well, guess what? Technology is here. You just did an update.
Yeah, that's no.
So it's implementation and optimization for the organization to be able to run at an optimized, flow. So when you guys go down to 350 next year or whatever it may be, they're not, all shocked. Well, you should only need 4 people there now. It's not 4 people minimum. It's you should only need 4, because most of the education is going on online. You don't need 30 people in the center teaching courses all day. And all you need is managers to be calling and sending out information, and then the instructors will also have compliancy, as in, okay, let's say you have a goal of 100 at your center, you have 10 courses, you have 10 instructors, each one of them is responsible for getting in 10 people. They just have to play their numbers, and if they don't meet them within certain timelines,